Hello, Corrie Thorne here, coming in to do the monthly channel messages. I know I'm running into like the 5th of January and I still only have a few up, but I'm working on them. So this one is going to be for Aries. So for my Aries and those who have the wherever Aries is in your chart, if it resonates with you, if it's in your rising, this may really impact you as well, or have some sort of connection to you. I'm not doing the astrological reports. I'm doing energy reports. So this is an energy forecast. I'm reading the energy, channeling through what is happening out there and commuting it back to here to the way that I'm perceiving it, or the way that I'm receiving it. Sorry. So for Aries, for the month of January 2022, also traveling into the year. That's what I'm really noticing. It seems to be a theme that I tend to be going a little bit more into the whole year. So for Aries, what am I really getting? I just feel like there's just like, there's some sort of like sit back, breathe, breathe into, relax, calm down, chill out, all of that kind of energy of, okay, you've done it. You've done it. You've hit this marker like this. You can timestamp this moment. You can timestamp this moment as kind of finally getting to an ending and stepping into some sort of new beginnings. I feel like it's like you've been for all this Aries energy, when there was some big shifts happening in the past week or so, or the past couple weeks. What I've really noticed is that, Aries have been through, I'm going to say it as it is, hell and back. Yeah, that's on my face. I've been through hell and back over the past few days. And so, or the past few days, the past few years, and these are unedited, so I'm sorry. I can't edit out because then I'm taken away from the content of the message. So I have to leave them as they are. So don't get distracted right now by everything else. It feels as if you are finally coming out like a time capsule of your own personal health stories. Like everything you went to do, things worked. You've succeeded at things, but you've been met with every resistance and every challenge to see if you would continue or if you would back down. Some have backed down. Some have decided to, sit back and say, I'll wait this one out. I will just sit back here and wait. And others just kept going. And nothing wrong with sitting it out and waiting as well. Not everybody's cut out to be out there, trudging through all of that. And so it's like, sometimes it's better to sit back and wait, and some are just more stubborn. So don't let yourself feel like you have to be stubbornly pushing through anything right now. Really, truly allow yourself to pause, to rest, to reflect. It's like a big ass detox that is happening for Aries energy, to just say, what you had to be to get through this past few years is not really you. But what you lived, or who you lived as before that, really wasn't always you either. This is now time that you are going to see yourself coming into your truth, walking into your light. I'm seeing a lot of blues and pinks and yellows. It's like this burst of energy, this burst of color, almost like, when you're watching, and now you might not be a Trekkie like me, when you're watching Star Trek, and when the spaceship gets ready to go into space, in that when it starts from the beginning or at the end, and you see it go, and it's just taking off to another dimension, another mission, another time. Well, that's what the energy feels like, Aries. I feel like it's just like this slingshot of energy that has pulled us back, and we're in this, and we're being held like this. We're being suspended. It's like, don't even try to do too much right now. You're suspended right here, getting ready to project you to be projected forward. It's like we're going to be taking this big deep dive into the future, forward. And so it is a forward progressive energy that feels like it's coming up for Aries, which really truly suits the Aryan energy. So when you have Aries energy, you have warrior energy, you have the ability to be able to go out and fight and do these things. But if you're into astrology and human design, you really want to know those parts of you, to know where, how much of this sign are you? Where does each and every planet sit in the houses? And what's your rising? What is the aspects of self? So like I'm an Aries, but I'm Libra. I'm Libra rising. So, and then I have a Cancer moon. So, all of those aspects of who we are is showing up. And we're here to kind of let ourselves, become all of what we are. Truly live by some of the greatest truths of us are hidden in the parts of us that we don't want to face. When you hold so tight to people, I just remember having this person that was so like, if it was one Aries did you wrong, all Aries were like that. And that's so closed-minded. That is so closed off. And so if you look at yourself as I'm this one zodiac sign and this is all I am, or if someone had told you this is what you are, this is what you're going to be in the future in a reading, and you're like, nope, that's all it is. Well, it's all about that feeling, that connection. But it's also about you are so much more than that. There's 12 houses in astrology where your planets all sit. Know your birth chart, know your human design, get to know you, explore deeper into you. It is time for you not to be so holding a badge of honor that you're just an Aries, that I'm just this, because there is so much more that slingshot energy that's slinging you to in the future that says you're going to have to, expand your horizons, open your mind, not wear blinders, be very aware that, who the identity and the personality of you is more than that warrior energy. You're more than probably taking on so much of the masculine. You have a softer side, you have a more gentler side. Maybe passion is not exactly as you think passion is. Where does Venus sit in your houses? Where does, where's Lilith? Where does Lilith sit in there? Are you, do you have a Lilith moon? There's so much to explore about you. And so you're being told this month and coming into 2022, who are you going to project into your future? And because your future is not going to contain you, the you of today will not be present for your future, because so many things change us. And when we keep trying to force ourselves into that future, if we keep trying to identify people by, you knew one person with one astrological sign and you didn't get along with them, so now everybody becomes a victim to your attacks because you had that energy. It's like, what a crock of bull. It's bullshit. That's your story, and you just want an excuse to be. And so when you want an excuse to be and a reason to stay, you will stay in the same stories. You'll stay a victim, you'll stay gaslighting, you'll stay in all of that energy. And it's time to be able to project and move forward, Aries. This is a year, a time, and I want to say it's like we got a couple years here where you've got some special guidance, that slingshot energy that's just like, do it now, but start preparing what you're going to be doing. Start really truly organizing and clearing, and be clear on what it is and who it is that's going forward, that's moving forward, that's stepping into that energy. And what do I need, who do I need to be? So that's a big message that's coming up. So it might sound like, wow, that don't even make sense, but it does make sense. It makes sense in the way of just saying, stop limiting yourself and who you are. When your ego creates your identity, when the fear, the programming creates your identity, you become the story. You become the story of whatever has transpired in your life. When you can set yourself free of that, you realize you're so much more than that. And if you hold everybody to what they had done in the past, you will be also what you did in the past. Moving forward is this sense of freedom. So freedom, liberation is big for Aries, coming up this month and following through into 2022. You also have a lot of that. And because it 2 leads us into 666. So it's like we also have a power in numbers. So we can take these numbers and see a trinity. We can see affinity. We can see throughout the year, we're going to see how these numbers align in each month to the numerology. So numerology is very big for you. Really, truly know your numbers. get to know numerology a little bit more as well. It's a real deep dive into you. I also have some of you breaking free and breaking away. I want to break free. I've been just nailing out these songs. So I want to break free. So that sense of breaking free from either stagnant old energy. For some of you, it may be finally from a stagnant old relationships. For some of you, it is about forgiveness. There's the essence of big, big forgiveness that is coming through for us. We also have a very gentle, soft energy, but can kick our ass that is here with us. And so we have Chiron that's been kicking our ass, but that's not gentle. Chiron, the wounded healer energy is not gentle, but this is a gentle energy that comes in as the divine mother, Mother Mary, but also as that beautiful soft pink of Mary Magdalene energy, and just telling us to really nurture the unseen wounds within us, to acknowledge the where we have been, and to cloak ourselves, wrap ourselves in as much love as we possibly can. Let the divine allow spirit into our hearts, open up to receive the healing that is coming in, to know that, we may look like assholes for having to make some of the tough decisions we'll have to make this year, but it's okay. It's not that you're an asshole. It's not that you're doing something that's wrong. You're actually, for the first time, doing something that's right, because you're making some tough choices and decisions that are truly you saying yes to you this year and not yes to everyone else. So there is going to be some of those decisions that are going to be playing out in your life, whereas you've got to make sure that you don't go back into the guilt and the shaming yourself and then backtracking on what you're doing for yourself this year. And so I'm getting congested as I'm speaking of this. I feel like there's just such a detox. I know I'm going through a big detox and a clearing. I do have lottery for you. I have lottery. It's like you're going to win the lottery this year. And the lottery could finally be just peace, contentment, happiness, whatever that lottery means. It doesn't always mean a lottery ticket, but that sense of abundance. God, let me win the lottery. I'm in. I claim this. And so I just have, it's like winning the lottery. It's like when you finally step into just like feeling alive, coming to life, finally just being you, finally just like seeing some ease and easier times this year. And so I have the 9 of Pentacles, and she's holding up that falcon or eagle, or and it's got its little headset on, so it's being directed to know exactly where to go. It's looking over her head. She doesn't even have to look. She just knows the direction she's going. She's trusting that journey. She knows exactly where she is. She's finding her voice. She's cloaked in her beautiful blue. And then the thing I noticed behind it is that red, almost like she's wearing her cloak. I mean, it's probably ribbons in her hair or her hair, but it's like, for me, the way I see this, because I'm not actually doing my whole tarot, I'm reading energy, is the way that I see this is that, she doesn't have to be cloaked and hidden in ancestral stories or feeling like she has to be protecting and hiding the parts of her. She's finally finding her, but she has the wisdom of the wise ones. And so when the wise ones come to me, they come cloaked in reds and blues. And I just feel like it's like she has that energy. There's like, so the wisdom of the wise ones are walking with you to guide you if you open up your mind and your heart to let them in. And it's transformation of beautiful butterflies. And I just feel like it's like she's been gathering and collecting and being owed what is hers. And this gate here, kind of walking in through, she's walked into her life, into her journey. She's so close to being able to fully embody that whole life. She knows where she has been. The 7 of Cups is coming up with it. And I'm like, and this feels like, it's like, what I'm picking up with this is like the 7 for me in minor arcana numbers really truly always represents that midpoint when you're up on, when here's where you are, here's where you've been, here's what you got to work with, here's all elements, here's all that you need. And which direction will you go? Which path will you take? Will you move this way, or will you look back at where everybody is, keep going back and revisiting stories? Will you feel guilty and feel like you need to go back? Or will you allow yourself to move forward, not to let the old emotional stories dictate your life, and allow yourself to be able to embody the experiences, know that you have been there, but to let the body guide you, let the feeling of the body guide you forward. And then I have the Six of Cups coming up here, and there's these beautiful, little children, two little kitties playing in the field and filling their cups full of all the things that are joy and happiness. And there's these little playful energies of the cat. And so sometimes what I'm getting here is there's sometimes a cat and mouse game that you play with your inner child. So there's some sort of cat and mouse game that sometimes we play, but this is also about joy, the childlike energy that you're going to be projecting forward, moving forward, and building a stronger sense of a foundation built on that joy and happiness, and remembering the essence of the child within. Remembering, if someone else didn't create your good moments, what did you create when you were playing? Your imagination, letting your imagination create that future for you again, letting your imagination to not take you to the crazy spots that just feels like you're going to go back that way, but that the imagination has the power to help you move forward. That's your message that's coming up. That's the biggest message, is that let yourself create in your mind the possibility that you can reach out and feel that future of joy, of happiness, of seeing yourself living there, but not getting so determined to see exactly what it should look like. Let go of all of that. Just know that there's some, like, winning the lottery for you this year. Also the sense of just like knowing that you and that you may be signing some big contracts, you may be getting some big offers, you may be building a home, buying a home. There is big purchases, investments, and buying, and just being aware of who you trust, because you sometimes can be either not trusting at all or too trusting. So finding that balance and really truly knowing is, don't go back to the people who are still living the same life, and not making the changes in their lives, to be the people that tell you how to live your life in the light. You got to go to people who are living the life in the light, be guided by the people who are living in the light, follow their, not be a follower of them, but learn from them, because they're succeeding. What's back there is still not in the success line, and they're still swimming in the swamp. They're still working on broken foundations. So this is about this direction and not that direction. That's your message. Be very aware of when you're going this way or that way. Much love. Have a beautiful January, and I'll see you in February. Bye-bye.